We are back with the harvester. Alright guys, we are back with the harvester. Shut up. Load game. Go to mail office. Alright. That's it. Post office. 41% off packing peanuts, assorted colors. Cup. Line woman is trying to read her mail.
Yes?
I need some help, Mr.
Postmaster Boyle, what can I do for you today?
I'd like a lodge application.
Sorry, youngster, we're out of applications right now.
Come on, you must have one around here somewhere.
Well, I do have the master, but you can't write on that. And I only make copies once a month, on the button, regular as clockwork.
But come on, it won't kill you to make a lousy copy.
It's not the effort, son. It's the principle. We must adhere to our standards. They're all that stand between civilization and chaos.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you'll just have to come back in a month, same as anyone else. And even then, I can't guarantee you'll get an application. The line is always long, and there are never enough to go around.
It's very important that I get in quickly.
That's what they all say. Postmaster Boyle, I'll just die if I don't get into the lodge. I can't make an exception, young man. It just wouldn't be right. Next time you post, don't forget the zip code.
3 clocks 3 times. Bake sale. There's nothing I can do. Damn it. Okay, barbershop. Except for the occasional hairball cough, it's hard to tell if the sheep is alive or not. An unfortunate extraterrestrial who journeyed hundreds of years to wind up mounted on a barber's wall. It takes a true sportsman to hunt down those dangerous cows. Made of solidified mousse and sticky hairspray, this lovely mannequin is a work of art. Fancy barber's pole skewered with straight slot screws. It's interesting. Jim Bob, who is the high school star pitcher for 20 years ago, hangs his aging leather jacket here when he comes down for a trim. Mr. Pastorelli doesn't respond, not understanding English. Picture of young Mr. Pastorelli. Spaghetti on his mouth and all. Picture... Colonel Buster Monroe flipping the bird from his B-17 rocket. Clem Parsons took this rare photo of an extraterrestrial.
Howdy, Steve.
Yeah. Howdy back, Mr.
Pete Swell, Steve. Don't you pull my old leg now. Change your mind about that aluminum siding?
What are you talking about?
I really think you should talk your father into buying some. He can afford it. And I can't stress enough the value of some really fine aluminum siding. Keeps it warm in the summer, cool in the winter, and it keeps out the sheep. Pastorelli ought to look into some, but I can't get him to understand a word I say.
What does aluminum siding have to do with anything?
Steve, aluminum siding can't get a fair shake no more. Started when those firemen came to harvest, filling people's heads with newfangled notions like color coordination and interior design. You can paint aluminum, you know, if you want to. But even so, I can't seem to move it anymore. Not even to a rube like Pastorelli. Thank God for the plumbing.
Plumbing?
Well, I seen the end coming for the aluminum siding game, so I took a mail course and learned how to be a plumber. Now,
I don't even
there's
know
a
what
business
aluminum
that
siding
never
is.
lets up. You'd be surprised what people flush down the toilet.
Didn't he say something about sheep?
Can't understand why Pastorelli keeps that nasty thing in here. Must remind him of the pastures in Italy. Kinda like why I keep wrenches under my pillow, so's I can dream about plumbing.
Okay. Plumbing?
Well, I seen the end coming.
Okay. Pastorelli.
Pastorelli's a rube from way back. Ask Clem Parsons how he followed up with the alarm system in here. I'm a plumber. I could fix it for him, but he just won't listen. Nice to see you again, Steve.
That's Mr. Parsons.
Hello there, youngster. You say them aliens I was telling you about? Well, they came back last night. Cut another crop circle in my south field.
How come I never seen none of them saucers, Clem?
Them aliens is wily, Pete. You don't cross the intergalactic void without learning a trick or two. You know what Pastorelli did? Yesterday, he gets an alarm system to protect his pole. Only he don't know how to rig it, so now it's all awry.
The pole?
Why, that barber's pole of his is his pride and joy. Brought it all the way over from Italy, wrapped all special-like. It ain't nothing but colored glass with some bulbs stuck up in it, but he thinks it's the be-all, end-all. Installed that alarm system just to protect it. Though who in tarnation would want to steal a worthless piece of junk like that? I don't know.
Maybe them aliens, Clem.
Oh, Pete, don't be ignorant. Them aliens don't give a fig for no colored glass. You think if they can build spaceships, they can't make a dadgum barber pole? Crazy hick, don't know nothing about science.
Alarm system.
Pastorelli shelled out for an alarm system, all right, but he's too cheap to hire an electrician to hook her up. Dang idiot cross-wired it to the fire sprinkler, so now when the alarm goes off, it sets the sprinkler spraying. Tarnation! Aliens looking for intelligent life ought to stay away from this shop, sure enough.
Aliens?
Well, son, the ways of the alien is a specialized area of woodcraft unknown to all but the wiliest sportsmen. What you gotta remember is, your average alien is smarter than your average human, so you gotta be extra careful building your blind if you want to bag one.
You hunt aliens.
Son, after nailing an alien, you can never go back to quail.
That's fair.
What, you think you can get one of those at a swap meet? Line your blind with lead to fool their sensing machines. Lay real quiet and wait. Preferably in the woods around the nuclear base. Oh, they love messing around out there.
Why not wait outside your field, Clem? Wait for 'em to come a-carving.
Oh, they do their crop doodles with zap guns, you darn fool. Don't you know nothing? Besides, ain't no place to put the blind out in the field. Now, you listen to Clem Parsons if you want to tag an unearthly being. They cross the void, wondering what lies beyond, all the time not knowing that what awaits them is buckshot.
Okay. Oh, goodbye.
Anytime, Steve.
That was interesting. Johnson.
Hello, Steve. How's the husband-to-be?
Other than having no memory, I guess I'm all right.
All right. You should be ecstatic, considering what you're getting into. If you haven't gotten into it already.
Excuse me?
Speaking of which, I heard Stephanie was grounded. Her daddy's worried about getting his meat. So if I were him, I'd be more concerned about Stephanie getting some meat.
Right. You are...
You always were a kidder, Steve.
Oh, you always were
I'm
curious,
Mr.
Steve.
Johnson, remember? Glad you stopped by.
I don't think I want to know you,
Just
though.
got finished
That was really
waxing the
gross.
Tucker. I could use a little relaxation. But since Edna's not here, I might as well talk to you.
Stephanie?
Speaking of Stephanie, I still haven't gotten an invitation to the wedding yet.
I don't have anything to do with that.
That's okay. Personally, I'd prefer a pass to the honeymoon.
Oh, God.
You could use the back seat of my Tucker for the maiden voyage.
Ew, 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 ew.
Believe you me, I'd drive you around. And I wouldn't look in the back seat. I guarantee it. Though if you'd like to
Stop
come
the
up
cow.
front and take the wheel a while, I wouldn't say nay.
Ew. Ew. Look at his eyes. Ew.
Heck of an automobile, isn't she? Damn shame I have to sit out here and watch over her all the time. But if I didn't, those stupid kids might scratch her up playing ball.
Could I take a look at it?
Don't see why not, but don't touch her. I'm mighty particular about my Tucker. I had the garage remodeled like a fortress, so I could lock her up at night and get some sleep.
I'm sure she's safe enough inside.
A few months back, someone broke into my
Really?
house, trying to get into the garage. I had to gripe like hell before the sheriff agreed to start the evening patrols and instigate the curfew.
Edna?
Edna Fitzpatrick is one of the snootiest women in town. I declare there isn't a woman in Harvest that turned me away.
I just turned you
If I
away.
was interested, that is. Just because she owns DNAs, she's got all these highfalutin ideas about independence. And her with a little girl to raise. That child needs a father.
I
And
guess.
Edna, well, she needs a good hard penis.
Penis?
What makes you so sure she needs a penis?
You saying Edna's getting it from someone else? Like maybe that damn Sheriff Dwayne? He's over at DNA's diner every day from noon to 1, eating his dadgum pie. And I got a feeling he'd like Edna for dessert.
Isn't pie
Sure,
dessert?
it's the only diner in town. But I'm sure he's got more on his mind than food.
Right. I think I'm
Bye
gonna be
now.
leaving. Yeah. Uh-huh. I think I'm gonna just, like, explode your car or something. Oh, that's a wasp lady. Maybe I have to go everywhere. Why do we have a missile base? The guard booth is the only building? I guess I'll talk. Hold on. I need to save. Just in case. I think I remember this guy's a nutcase. We're exploring. I don't know why I wrote explode. Halt, he goes there.
Oh, who goes there?
They tell me my name is Steve.
All right, this is Section 21. Keep your distance, son. I wouldn't want to have to blow your head off.
That makes 2 of us.
So you're the amnesiac, huh? Just another draft-dodging boy the way I see it. But at least you're not an alien. You see their ships every now and then. Sometimes Swell bags one in the woods.
Who are you?
Colonel Buster Monroe, commander of the Harvest Nuclear Missile Installation, keeping America safe from those who would dye a flag red, white, and pink.
These are nuclear missiles?
Goddamn right they are.
Goddamn
Every
right
one
they
of them
are.
ready to rain death on the Ruskies. All I gotta do is
The
hit
Ruskies.
the button and blammo! The price of vodka goes through the roof. Along with the vodka.
Well, I suppose you have, you know, safeguards against accidents?
No.
Safeguards? Don't be such a weak sister. There are no safeguards. This is the 50s.
Then you have sole control of the, missiles.
That's right. Been in charge here since WW2, when I got my lower torso shot off in the war. Those pennywaists in Washington wanted to stick me behind a desk. To hell with that. They owed me. I left my legs in Dusseldorf.
That's
they
fair.
owed me. Of course, they felt that after the trauma of having to crawl from Germany to England trailing my intestines behind me, I was too emotionally unstable to continue in the military. That's why they gave me this nice cushy job and put me in charge of the nuclear missiles.
Lower the button?
Why are you asking about the button, son?
I'm just a little nervous about it. I mean, suppose an accident happens.
Get your panties in a bunch, mister. The button is perfectly safe. I keep it on my person all the time.
So
No
the video
commie
just
bastard is
showed
getting his
it's
mitts on this
underneath
button.
his
No siree, Bob.
like
No one initiates
torso.
a nuclear holocaust in Harvest except me.
Okay.
Now, doesn't that make you feel better?
No, I don't feel better at all actually. Commie bastard.
Frankly, all these questions are making me a little suspicious of you. Maybe you're one of those pink-blooded Americans. Can you give me any reason why I shouldn't shoot you right now?
I'm an American?
Right, huh? Your average commie bastard is always only too ready to hide behind the Constitution. Real Americans waive their rights for the common good.
That's not what. No?
You?
Sure, I would for this great country, of course.
Talk a good game, mister. But so
Oh
does
my
your
God.
average commie bastard. The Kremlin teaches its agents to talk their way out of a scrape. What do you think about that, son?
I don't think much about stuff like that. I think that's the right answer because he thinks we're too smart. I don't think much.
Glad to hear it, son. You had me going there for a minute, asking all those questions about
exactly.
this base.
See?
Came this close to getting blown away.
Oh my god.
As it is, maybe you ought to get out of here before I change my mind. Go visit those Ponzi firemen.
Pansy.
But whatever you do, stay away from that damn lodge. That's the most suspicious place in Harvest, if you ask me.
Fireman?
I wanted to get back into the thick of the action and out of this desk job, but those firemen are a damn peculiar bunch of ladies. I thought they'd object to my lack of a lower body, but they wouldn't let me join the fire department because they said I couldn't draw naked men. Can't draw naked men? Who the hell wants to?
Gay
I
guys?
could draw one if I was a sick commie pervert. Look, I did this last night. What do you think?
Looks good. It's a fine drawing, Colonel.
Thank you, son. You're a good soldier.
Are you gonna cry? You know what? We should just leave. I think once you visit everything, then the next day should happen. The meat plant. What is all this stuff? Oh, no. A pen. Bloody tire tracks. Oops. Whatever is in the barrel smells really bad. Look at all the cats. Oh, there's a dead one. This used to be a kitty cat. Furry kittens will not be happy about that.
Steve, how's your father? Is he better?
About the same, I guess.
He's been away from work for weeks, and when I call your house, your mother won't let me talk to him.
I haven't seen him either.
This is a fine kettle of fish, I must say, though I am glad to see you taking an interest in the business in your dad's absence.
Who are you?
Aw, Steve, I didn't want to believe that. Holcomb. Now you're saying you don't remember your pal Pat O'Reilly?
That's the cats.
What's with all the cats? This a slaughterhouse or a kennel?
Oh, them? They eat the scraps, that's all.
Yeah, but look at them. Isn't there some kind of health department that keeps tabs on these things?
Are you going to work at the health department, Steve? Or here?
Here, of course.
That's good to know. Your father will
I
be
was
very
not gonna
happy
tempt this
if he
man when he's
recovers.
holding a cleaver.
My point was only, you shouldn't allow animals in the food processing area, right?
We don't let them get into the meat. That's unsanitary, and the health department wouldn't stand for it. There's things you don't know about the family business, but you'll learn.
Meat.
Come to think of it, I don't see any cattle around here. Where do you keep the animals?
Does it matter? The end product is all the customer cares about, Steve. And we only
I
carry
did
the
debate
finest
about
meat,
that.
only the juiciest cuts.
Okay,
Once
you guys
take over
didn't
the
see that on
business,
screen,
you'll
but
realize the importance of maintaining quality while cutting costs. We know what we're doing here, Steve. If we didn't, would the lodge use us to cater their affairs?
there was a, Could I take some meat home?
Your father's very particular about the profit, Steve. No freebies for anyone. But seeing how you're his son, if you'll bring written permission from your father, I'll give you the meat.
Dad's illness.
What exactly is wrong with your dad?
I don't know.
I wouldn't worry about it too much, Steve. You should be thinking about running the family business one day. That, getting into the lodge.
The lodge.
The Order of the Harvest Moon sponsors a weenie roast on the lodge
A
grounds
weenie
every summer,
roast?
which we cater, though they tend to get their meat elsewhere the rest of the year.
I wonder why.
Heck, the best way to find out is to sign up with them. They're a great organization, Steve. They do wonderful work, just like us butchers. They do what needs to be done and expect nothing in return.
Then how do they support themselves? Membership dues?
From what I hear, the work is its own reward.
Yeah, if I got telepathy, that would be a really good reward, to be fair.
You may come to
Family
realize that this
business?
business is not for everybody. Just ask your poor, ill dad. It takes dedication and a strong stomach.
Okay, they just showed us. Yeah, there it is. You saw it.
A lot of times, when I'm finished scrubbing up and digging the bits of intestine out from my
Ugh.
fingernails, I must confess I don't have much appetite for red meat. But red meat is one of the principal food groups, and you've got to have it.
No,
so
it's
when you
not.
can
I
do
mean,
this
I
all
love
day
red
and
meat.
help yourself to a juicy red steak afterwards, then by golly, you can call yourself a butcher. Of course, amnesia would certainly help that, wouldn't it?
They just showed us like a picture of the rows of meat. I mean, I'm a Wendigo. I love meat as much as the next Wendigo, but I think you guys are a bit need to clean up around here. Amnesia?
Look, I'm not kidding about the amnesia. Why won't anyone believe me?
Well, you always were
They're such a kidder, Steve.
Funny how that's beginning to sound like a stock answer. Like it was coached.
You sure are acting like a kidder, son. With your dad ill, you're gonna need to start behaving like an adult. Especially if
I
you're
don't-
gonna take over the family business.
I don't know if it's coached or not. I can't tell if it's coached or if everyone's just crazy.
Don't be such a stranger, Steve. And my best to your dad.
I don't know how we're supposed to get to him. Dad. Where would he Wayward Hotel. No vacancy.
Stephen,
Who are you?
I am Daniel Moynihan, mortician and proprietor of the Wayward Hotel.
Most people ask me why I don't remember their names.
Well, you always were hitters.
Even the mortician.
Besides, as one who deals with the dead, I try not to involve myself in the affairs of the living. Your loss of memory is of no concern to me, true or false. Ironic, considering my recent involvement in a charity event.
What are you talking about?
My complaints were central to the scheduling of the upcoming Harvest Bake Sale. I'm gratified the Order of the Harvest Moon got involved. The proceeds will certainly help cover my losses.
What losses?
It seems that, like some elephant's graveyard, people of low station come to Harvest to die. They simply drop dead, penniless, and they all need burials. God knows, by putting these people up at the Wayward Hotel, I do more than my fair share. So why must I pay for the coffins and burial materials as well? My losses to the dead are
That's
substantial.
fair, but
Hopefully the bake sale will offset some of them.
oh, so the bake sale's for you?
This bake sale is a joint effort of the Harvest PTA and the Order of the Harvest Moon. The proceeds will be used to set up a fund for transients. In other words, bums and societal rejects without families who wander into Harvest uninvited.
Then the Order is setting up shelters
No.
for the homeless?
Not shelters, graves. You see a great number of these hobos die while passing through.
Hobo. I haven't
Don't
heard
ask
that
me
one in a
why,
while.
It's what those people do. Use your common sense, Stephen, memory or no. If they were involved in setting up homeless shelters, then why would I be involved? And why would I be sustaining losses?
Order of the Harvest Moon.
As always, the Order of the Harvest Moon has taken the lead in addressing our societal ills. Through their sponsorship of the blood drive and the bake sale, the Lodge ensures that all our needs are met.
Needs.
That's nice.
Such as...
Pardon me, there are corpses to prepare.
Okay.
And my losses have been substantial of late. If you're sincerely interested in the Order, however, you should stop by the Lodge and speak with the Sergeant-at-Arms.
Why should I be interested, Mr. Moynihan?
Of all the spots in Harvest, the Lodge is the most prominent, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, it's fucking huge, the building.
It is the ambition
It's like
of
the
everyone
size
here
of
to
a
join.
nuclear missile base
Join
we
the
also
Lodge
have for
to
some
obtain
reason.
wisdom.
What kind of wisdom?
If I knew, I'd be a member. I have the feeling you have what it takes to join the Order, Stephen. We all believe that.
The thanks, I guess.
Whether or not you live up to your potential is up to you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna head out.
I'd say it's been a pleasure, but I find the company of the living so wearisome.
Do you just like dead people? Doors locked. Ledger of names, last being Jonathan A. Rhinecliff, checked in Monday. Console radio. Mirror. PTA bake sales Friday. Ooh, I picked up the ledger. Cool. I'm not exactly sure what I can do with a ledger, though. I guess to go to the mortuary. Nobody's here. Candles. Ledger. Pick up ledger. Why do I need it? Sofa. Okay, you're here too. Glue. Pick up the glue.
You can't have that, Stephen. I need it for my work.
Oh,
I
sorry.
was only gonna borrow it.
Indeed. And have you anything I could hold as security?
Security. Like what? Money?
I'm afraid that's not good enough. I need that glue for my work. You must present me with something significant if you'd have me part with it.
Okay. Very nasty sink. Disenbarry, Oregon, which was never meant to pump formaldehyde. Okay. Corpse. Messy remains of Horsel. Why are you here?
Young man, we really have nothing to say to each other. I have the feeling your innards shall soon adorn my slab, and I'd rather not know the face of the meat I'm slicing. You know, I seem to have misplaced a ledger. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Yes, I took them. Here they
Yes,
are.
well, since you've seen fit to return them,
Bye.
I'd say it's been...
Fuse. Chandelier. Gleams unwholesomely pink, like the eyes of a horde of rats on thin wires. Hauntingly beautiful stained glass. A man holds a scythe and some ethereal power in the other. What is the slapping sound? Saint kneels before a shepherd, jubilantly terrified. Same thing. Candles. Strange smelling candles. Imprint of head and buttocks and sliding heels are scraped into the thick dust. Dead vessel. Small thing for a lectern. Cemetery. Well, this place is huge. Oh no, wait, that's just the lodge. Jonathan A. Rhinecliff. So the same dude. Boxcar, really? Another resting place amongst the graves. Sealed shut doors. Potsdam family crypt. You must be pretty rich to have a crypt. I can exit. Oh no, it's just the same. Okay, exit, exit, exit. I've been almost everywhere. Not really. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places left to go. What a drag. Cop ignores you, too busy writing a bug report. Coffee. A map of harvest. Unsolved arson. It's full.
Hello, Steve. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sheriff Dwayne, and this here's Loomis.
Pleasure, I reckon.
Then, we haven't met before?
Of course we have, but I heard about your alleged amnesia and figured I'd play along. I sure hope this is just a prank, and not the start of some insanity plea. Keep your nose clean, or you'll wind up in jail, and that's no place to hold a wedding.
I don't think they hold weddings in jail.
Why do you want to break your poor mama's heart with all this amnesia bunk?
I'm telling you the truth. Why won't anyone believe me?
I love how
Well,
Steve gets
you've always
consistently
been a
more
kidder,
pissed off
Steve.
about it.
Yeah, so everybody keeps telling me.
Yeah.
Boy, you need to stop all this funning and get serious. You've got a wedding coming up soon. Heck, you should be thinking about your career and about joining the lodge.
The lodge.
I don't mind telling you, I'd never get anything done if not for the lodge's efforts. To join the Order of the Harvest Moon is the highest dream of everyone in Harvest.
How do I get an application?
Like I said, unless you get an application on the first day of the month, you're generally out of luck. Stop by the post office and talk to Postmaster Boyle. You never know. He might have a spare application laying around.
Wedding.
Amnesia or no, you can't have forgotten you're about to marry the prettiest little thing in Harvest.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be
think you and
grossed out or
Stephanie are
happy.
perfect for each other. I just hope her father's disappointment doesn't spoil everything.
Disappointment?
Mr. Potsdam wants to hold the wedding in the lodge.
Oh, I
but
thought
he'll
he was
never get
disappointed
in.
he can't provide his
Like all
daughter
the
anymore.
rest, he's always hanging around the post office the first day of the month, waiting for Boyle to bring out that month's lodge applications. And there's always a long line, never enough applications to go around, and even if you do get an application, chances are you're right out of luck. Fewer called to the order and even less accepted. And Potsdam, well, they've turned him down so many times, unless he does something radical, he'll never get in.
That's pretty sad. Crime.
Crime-wise, nothing much has happened in Harvest since the newspaper fire. Oh, sure. Every week or so, we get the odd transient dropping dead. But other than that, it gets
I
pretty
imagine.
slow
There's
around
not many
here.
people here. Transients?
We get a lot of bums, drifters passing through Harvest. Those people are never very healthy to start with. I figure they come to our fair town, look around, and decide it's a nice place to die.
You mean they drop
Maybe.
dead here on a regular basis?
Like flies. I'd slap 'em all in jail if I could, but there's never enough room. Besides, they're pretty good about not sticking around long. Sure, it's a burden on Mr. Moynihan, though, having to bury them all. I only hope the PTA Lodge bake sale will help out along those lines.
Monahan?
Oh, I forgot. You've got amnesia. Mr. Moynihan
He looks so
operates
tired
both
and
the
just
Whaley
done with me.
Hotel and the mortuary. Kind of a double burden for the poor man. Transients always wandering in and looking for a place to crash, then croaking.
Maybe it's not a coincidence.
You mean a crime? Oh, no. Moynihan's charity only extends so far. He won't check them in, but he'll sure check them out quick enough. He figures if they can't pay for the room, to hell with them. But if they can't pay for the burial, it's hell for us. What with the smell and all. I guess you can't say too much against Moynihan. What with him letting you hold the wedding in his mortuary chapel and all.
I guess.
Stop on by any time, Steve.
Oh, hold on.
Boy.
Don't you boy me.
Say what?
Okay.
Stop on by.
Unsolved arson.
Anything I can help you with?
Coffee sure smells good.
Help yourself. Speaking of which, you're real lucky to be marrying Stephanie. She don't look like a good woman. I just hope
What does that
she
mean?
don't turn out like Mrs. Loomis, or mercy forbid Mrs. Phelps. Good women can be awful hard on a man's needs.
Oh. Mrs. Phelps?
Mrs. Phelps down at the
Oh.
general store don't help things none. She's got them special picture books, the one with the ladies.
Yeah.
But she won't sell me none on account of she knows my wife, Mrs. Loomis. Dad gum if that don't burn my britches.
Oh, I
If
could
I
buy it
even
for
ask
him.
about him, she tells Mrs. Loomis and I get the blues. Enough to break a man's heart. Her burning my French postcards and me unable to replace them. A man's got needs, don't you
Can't
know?
you just like jerk off in the bathroom over there?
Why, you sure ought to appreciate what a man's got to do sometimes in a parked car or a waist-high knothole in a tree or jail cell at noon.
What is the waist high
It looks
knot
like
hole in a tree?
Mrs. Phelps got no reason not to sell you some of them French postcard girly picture books.
Girly picture book.
If you can get any, you see clear to part with them. Bring them round when the sheriff's at lunch, and I'd be obliged.
Mrs. Phelps.
Mrs. Phelps down. And
French postcards.
of course, I don't necessarily mean French postcards. That's just what we called them in my day. Any kind of girly picture book, the kind men like, would be just.
Now this kind of
dandy.
creepy is just
I'd be
kind of cute and kind of funny.
Kind
Kind of sad.
To bring me one.
Like you're married and you're crying because your wife's burning your porn mags.
Anytime, kiddo.
I just feel like giving him a pat on the back, like, well.
That's the evidence room, where we store items lifted from crime scenes. It's kept locked at all times. There's things in there that could make people jump through hoops, if I wanted.
Oh, really? If you wanted. Unsolved murders. Solved cases. Why is the unsolved murders such a big pile? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more places to go. Well, that's gonna be it for today's video, though. I hope you all join us tomorrow for another episode of Harvester. And don't be such a kidder, Steve. Ah.